Amaran released these lights a few months ago and they sent 2 of them to me, and I might have forgotten to review them, but that might have turned out to be a blessing in disguise because it gave me time with them. It let me put them into my own rotation, and it got me thinking actually, who are these lights for specifically? And I spoke to a few friends of mine who are working professionals, and it turns out they do have some specific requirements, if you will, or preferences for their lighting kit. And a lot of them actually asked me for some numbers and what have you to see if they are worth their money. What are the Amaran Halo series? It's a series of 5 lights. It comes in with 60X, 100X, 200X, 300 and 600X. Comes in 2 form factors. The 60X and 100X comes in this form factor. Anything above that will come in like this. Now, I'm not going to waste your time because ultimately, these are the questions you want answered. People ask me is the dollar per output of the light. So this is a chart. The Halo 60X will cost you $119 all the way to $469 for the Halo 600X. Now, to the right of the chart is the cost per 1000 lux. So basically, the 600X is the most efficient one of all. You get the most output per dollar. So if output per dollar is what matters to you, if it's everything that matters to you, get the 600X, just no questions. It's incredible. Now, the thing is, this is not the only chart that matters. You as a working professional, you are traveling all the time, and very often you need to pack your own light. And the form factor of it matters, the weight of it matters, the dimensions of it matters. Now, I'm going to throw you another chart. This is a lot more interesting. If we look at this, what's interesting is that the Halo 100X has the most efficient weight per 1000 lux, coming in at 85.9 grams per 1000 lux, with the Halo 600X coming in at 89.5 grams per 100 lux. So, right, that's interesting, but then we need to take a look at what they actually weigh. The 60X and the 100X is identical in weight, is 420 grams, while the 600X is 3 kilograms. What that means is that if you are actually carrying a bunch of 100X lights, it means that you do not have to carry heavy light stands. Sort of like a standard light stand like this will actually work, the cheaper black light stands. If you are carrying the 600X, I would highly recommend you using a more heavy duty stand, which will add a lot of weight and space in your kit. So yeah, for me anyway, the reason why I asked for these 2 lights, 100X and 300X, is that they are the sweet spot. I can get away with using a simple black stand for the 300X. It's a bit wobbly, but then I'm not traveling around. I don't have clients around the studio. So yeah, I am comfortable with using this and the Amaran Fresnel on it. The 100X, no question about it. I've put it on magic arms. I've put it on questionable places. It's light enough. And with the mini Fresnel, it becomes a very powerful light. I do not have the 600X with me. I have the 300X though. Let me show you the size comparison between this and the Amaran Ray 360C. Look at the size of it. You can actually fit the 300X into the 360C. So what that means is that you can actually pack lighter or actually pack more. So you can get away with packing more lights in your kit. And add to the fact that compared to some of the competitors, the 300X does not need a ballast to run. So yeah, it's instead of carrying 2 boxes, you are carrying just 1. Now, another amazing feature that they thought of, but it sounds very trivial, but it's very useful, is the power cable that comes with the 300X. This is right-angled, which means you can butt it up closer against the wall without worrying about bending the cable around. Yeah, believe me, we will be in situations where space is limited and you have to actually position it in weird places against a wall, against a floor, or what have you, against a ceiling. Yeah, so very useful thing to have. Speaking of power supply, the 100X is also able to run with your power bank. So you don't need to plug it inside the wall. It is PD powered, if I'm not mistaken. So I have the Anker 165 watt power bank. It powers this no problem. I haven't really sort of like timed how long it will run at 100% though. But This is really convenient. So you have different options of powering the unit. You will have a power brick as well. You will be able to run it through DC, and you will be able to run it through the standard sort of like phone charger. Amaran offers a plethora of different accessories for these lights. So you have your standard 120 centimeter softbox and what have you. But for me anyway, what's important is that you get the Fresnel lenses for both these lights. So the mini Fresnel is built for the smaller Ray 60, Ray 120, the Halo 100 or the Halo 60X. And the bigger one, where's my bigger Fresnel lens? So this is the Fresnel lens for the the larger COB lights. And again, let me throw out some numbers to show you what these accessories can do for you. What we're looking at is a 300X output at 5600K, measured at 1 meter, and we're comparing modifiers. So without any accessories, it will actually output 16,120 lux. And then the Fresnel that I'm talking about is actually a 9.4 times multiplier. So you will get outputs up to 151,300. The downside of a Fresnel is that you lose a lot of flood. And the pros of the Fresnel is that you can actually sort of like flood it, and at its maximum flood settings, as you can see, it's coming in at 27,870. Why I prefer a Fresnel over a reflector is because it makes the light a lot more controllable. It makes the light a lot more parallel, actually. It looks a lot more like sunlight than a reflector itself, and you get bundles as well in those accessories, so you can control your light better. And it's so bright that it actually enables you to bounce your light maybe to the ceiling, or if you have a floppy, or through a diffuser. Yeah, it gives you a lot of options. And then if it's too bright, you just remove the thing, change it to a reflector, what have you. Now, speaking of reflectors, here is one of the cons. It doesn't come with one. It's sold separately because these are ultimately budget light. So they want to give you the light bad bones. All you get literally is just a box and a handle and some cables, and that's it. So you all have to buy the standard reflector accessory separately. But here's my argument though. Most of us use softboxes. Most of us use octaboxes, and most of the time those reflectors get put on a shelf somewhere and forgotten. So they might have a point there. Now, one of the biggest things about these lights, especially with the Fresnel lenses attached, is that you can actually get away with bringing just one single 100X, the Fresnel lens, and a diffuser. And you can get away with using that kit as a key light. So if you're in one of those budget shoots, or you don't have easy access to power or what have you, it can function as a key light. For example, if you're in a situation where you have to shoot at a beach late at night, this can absolutely do the job. As I mentioned earlier, this is the form factor of the 100X. It's tiny. So I'm going to show you what I talked about. You can use this setup to get away with just using a diffuser to provide you with a key light. So we don't need a heavy duty stand. All you need is one of these lightweight stands. Yes, it's standard practice to actually sandbag it, but anyways. Oh, and this thing, the spigot, whatever you call that, or the holder, comes with a light as well. So it has the umbrella holder attached. So umbrellas are amazing for video lights as well. It has the anti-twist air relocating pin thing going on. So all you have to do is to attach this, attach it to your light stand. Again, as I said, all you need is a power bank to run these lights. So what I'm going to do is to hang my power bank from here, plug it in, and it's on. Oh, the reason why it immediately turns on when I plug in the power bank is because I'm running it in studio mode. So it remembers all your settings you previously used. We don't change settings much over here. Now, all you have to do is to position low light at the spot you want. Usually motivate the light instead of going against it. Oh, I forgot I need to turn off the rest of the lights because this is unfair. It's going to go a bit dark. And one of my favorite modifiers for key light is this diffuser right here. So all you have to do is to take this diffuser, position your subjects, and then put it over here, put the diffuser close to them, and position this light so that it actually spot it a little bit, change the angle a bit, and that's it. So this is with the lights turned off, this is turned on. And that is the entire setup for my key light. Just a very cheap reflector, a Fresnel lens, the 100x, and I'm only running it at 31%. Show you how bright it goes. That is 100. Obviously going to be overexposed, but yeah, you get the idea. The CCT goes from 2,700 to about 6,500, and it also comes with source type. So I like to run my lights at horizon daylight, which is about 5K and what have you. So yeah, these are the results. So completely usable, just one reflector or diffuser, 5-in-1 reflector. Yeah, just use the diffuser part, the Fresnel lens, and the 100x. And this absolutely works for an interview shoot. And just to prove a point, I am filming this on a DJI Pocket 3. Now, what about the competitors? How do they compare against the competitors? I've had trouble with that actually, because the nearest competitor, I'm not going to name brands, I don't want to burn bridges, I'm sorry, but some competitors, they list their numbers with accessories attached. So the numbers are just absolutely unfair. I might as well just attach the Fresnel lens, put it on spot, and give you the output numbers, which is basically pointless. So yeah, that ruined the whole comparison. Also, with some of those competitors, they do not have full-size Bowens mounts, and these lights, they do. So you do not have to buy an extra adapter. You don't need to sort of like think about the accessories you already have or you do not have, because most of the accessories already come in standard Bowens mount. So yeah, that's also a plus. Build quality wise, they are largely made out of plastic. All of them comes in at an IP rating of IP20. Don't really know what that means. Okay, can we just put a note about what IP20 actually means over here? I don't believe they're very weatherproof. Again, budget lights. The other con of it is that the color temperature and the intensity feels a bit swapped. I would prefer the intensity to be at the top while this one is at the bottom. By the way, these lights, all of these lights, they all run on Sidus Link, so you can actually control them in a single app together with the biggest Aputure lights, with all the way dating back to the 300X, if I'm not mistaken, or the Lightstorm 300 something. Yeah, the USB-C port has this screw-on thing, which I believe also works with USB DMX as well. Again, these lights do not natively have DMX, but you can actually add that feature via USB. So a few more boring numbers. These lights come in with a CRI of 96, a TLCI of 97. Now, they do not include the Omni color technology that you get on the Rays or the Blare technology that you get from the Aputure Storm 400 or 700X. So the SSI figures will be a bit lower than those lights, but it will only be a problem if you're trying to match daylight completely. But most of the time, you're just in a room trying to light a subject doing an interview, and you will be dealing with changing lighting conditions if you're shooting outdoors anyway. So yeah, those are the cons of the lights. There is no green and magenta shift in these lights as well. For that, you need to go to the Ray series. So yeah, if you're a working professional and you have any further questions, just ask me in the comments down below. Amaran Halo series, they decided to release these to answer to people who say that the Rays are too expensive. Now, go buy them. See you next one.